There's no phone in my basement, but I can hear one ringing. The night was silent, the kind of silence that presses against the eardrums and makes even the softest creak sound like a scream. I had been living in this old house for 3 months, slowly getting used to its noises, the groans of old wood, the whisper of wind through narrow gaps, the faint sound of rats behind the walls. But tonight, there was something different. It started as a faint ringing sound, distant, like it was coming from far away. At first, I thought it was my phone, but the sound was too wrong, too metallic, too slow, like the ring of an old rotary telephone. It wasn't coming from upstairs. It wasn't even coming from my living room. The sound was coming from below, from the basement. But there was no phone in my basement. The thought made my skin crawl. The house had been empty for years before I moved in. The basement nothing more than a dusty storage space with some shelves and broken furniture. Yet now, as I stood at the top of the basement stairs, I could hear it clearly. Reheen, Reheen. It echoed against the concrete walls, pulling me down step by step. The air felt heavier as I descended, the kind of thick, stale air that smells like rust and earth. I switched on the light, but only the old single bulb near the stairs came on, leaving most of the basement cloaked in shadow. The ringing grew louder. I followed the sound to the far corner, where the floorboards had warped slightly, as though something was pushing up from beneath. The ringing was loud now, impossibly loud, as if whatever it was needed to be found. With trembling hands, I fetched a crowbar and pried the floor open. The wood groaned, splintered, then gave way, revealing a dark cavity underneath. And inside it was an object that didn't belong there, an antique rotary phone. It was caked in dust, but the receiver glowed faintly as though it were alive, and it was ringing. My breath fogged in the cold air as I knelt beside it. My instincts screamed at me to leave it alone, to cover it back up and walk away. But something about that sound, something about the rhythm of it felt personal, urgent, as though it was calling only for me. So I picked it up. The ringing stopped. For a moment, there was nothing but silence. Then, a voice crackled through the line, distorted but unmistakably familiar. It was my own voice, and it was begging. "Help me," it said, frantic and broken. "You don't understand. You have to get out before it happens. Before it all happens. Please, please," the voice cut off, replaced by static that hissed in my ear. My hand shook as I slammed the receiver back down. I told myself it was just some tricksome sick joke left behind by whoever lived here before. But then the phone rang again, and again. And every time I picked up, the voice became clearer. Each call revealed more. Each call painted a picture of something coming, something lurking in the house, something that would not let me leave once night fell. By the third call, I could hear scratching in the walls, like fingernails dragging across the plaster. By the fifth call, I could hear footsteps above me, even though I was the only one home. And by the seventh call, I realized the voice on the other end was not just from the future. It was from the night I was living right now. It was me, trapped in the same house, screaming for someone, anyone to listen. The air in the basement turned icy cold, and the light bulb above me flickered. 10 went out. In the pitch black, I heard the sound of the receiver lifting by itself, and then the voice, my own voice, whispered right beside my ear. "They're here." The scratching turned into pounding. The walls seemed to breathe, and I heard something heavy crawling just beyond the edge of the darkness. I ran up the stairs, but the door at the top slammed shut, trapping me inside. The phone rang again, louder this time. I didn't want to answer, but the sound was unbearable, rattling the walls, vibrating through my bones. I grabbed the receiver. This time, I didn't hear words. I heard screaming, my own screaming, and then silence. When he woke up was lying in the center of the basement floor. The boards I had pried open were back in place, as though nothing had ever been disturbed. The phone was gone, but I could still hear it ringing. Not from the basement this time, from inside the walls. And tonight, as I sit here writing this, I can hear it again. Closer now. Almost like it's right behind me. If you hear it, don't answer, because once you do, there's no coming back. If this story gave you chills, don't forget to subscribe for more terrifying stories every week. Like, share, and comment your thoughts below. I'd love to hear if you have ever heard something calling you from the dark.